welcome back to another video. I hope you are all doing okay and are having a lovely week. I thought I would come to you today with a bit of a different video. I have kind of done one of these videos before with like a little top tips kind of video, which I will link in the corner in case you missed it. But I wanted to do a bit of an updated one and just basically go through like ways that you can up your BIAB game in 2023, because as we all know, BIAB is the thing. It is like, it's just taken over and it is solidly pretty much what I do now. And I've mentioned in a few videos that I have minimal acrylic clients now. It is literally BIAB, 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 and yeah, there's just a few things that I've learned along the way that I basically wanted to make a bit of a video, kind of go through my updated tips and talk you through everything that I find really helpful. Yeah, it's going to be coming into summer nails very soon. I am not too sure whether it's the same for everyone else, but I haven't really had that many spring sets yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had a few, but I feel like clients are kind of holding off because the spring and then into summer, like, it kind of, to try and find different nails to do every like 3 weeks-ish is like hard work. So yeah, I feel like my clients have been kind of taking it a little bit like slow to start with, which is probably the best idea, to be fair. But yeah, so that is basically what today's video is going to be about, just giving you some tips and tricks with your BIAB and hopefully help you improve those sets. Obviously, whether you are a beginner or whether you're not, I've been doing BIAB now for probably around 18 months to 2 years, and I'm still learning new things all the time and still kind of just trying new things. And yeah, I just hope you find these tips helpful. So I will stop waffling and we'll get into it. So the first thing we're going to touch on is refinement. So I have kind of done my sets differently along the period of time that I've been doing BIAB. I used to refine every single time when I used to use the gel bottle BIAB. I don't feel like it's as self-leveling as the Glitter Bells one. So I don't really refine as much and, well, feel the need to refine as much now that I've moved over to the Glitter Bells BIAB, because I find that the self-leveling is completely game-changing compared to my previous brand. Obviously, depending on what brand you're going to be using, the self-leveling is going to be completely different. But yeah, when it comes to refinement, like I said, I always used to refine with the gel bottle because I just felt like I could improve my structure a lot more. Obviously, some people refine, some people don't refine, and it's been something that I have, like I said, used to do more, don't do as much now. But what my main point is don't feel like you having to refine is taking away anything from your work or your application. Like I say, I do minimal refining now, but when I have applied my BIAB, I will always refine the shape for one. So just the free edge of the nail and the sidewalls, I'll always refine, just because I like this sharp shape. I think it looks so much better and it can make such a difference to the set as a whole. All I would say is, if you are needing to refine, I have the 240 180 files from Nobu, which I will show you now. So these are the 240 and 180 files from Nobu. So this side is the 240 side and this one is the 180. And what I will do is I will always go in with the 180 side to refine. And then what I do to reduce the kind of, because you will get scratches on the BIAB, and if you are going in with nail art next, I always then just like to increase my grit size, just because then you are going to buff out eventually those scratches. Because if you're going in with a 180 file and then going in, say for example doing French, you will get little like scratch marks in your BIAB with where the gel has kind of run, and you don't want that. So if you are going in refining, what I always do is I use my 180, then I'll move over to the 240 side, go over it with that as well, and then eventually buff out anything that's left, so that you are getting rid of any of the scratches that you've made with your file, because you don't want that when you're putting on any designs or anything like that over the top, because it'll just give you a much nicer finish. So yeah, that is one tip with my files. But yeah, just don't want you to think that if your biab needs refining that you are not doing your application properly, because you could place that biab exactly how you want to, pop it in the lamp and it can move underneath. It can move whilst it's in the lamp. So literally, don't put too much pressure on yourself. If it needs doing, it needs doing, and that is going to be absolutely fine. This brings me on to my next point with your application is, I know I mentioned this in the previous top tip video, but I cannot explain the importance of a fine liner when you are applying your biab. A fine liner is going to be your best friend. I don't think you understand. It is the key to finishing off your application when it comes to biab. Obviously, you're going to do your first layer, then you're going to do your thicker layer for the structure. And every single set of biab that I do, I use a fine liner. There is not one set of biab that I've ever done without my fine liner. To get into those side walls, to go over the top of your biab to level it out. Obviously, it is a self-leveling product, but just going over it with your fine liner, checking the side profile, and just going over it with your fine liner to move that biab to exactly where you want it, because then when it goes in the lamp, you know that it's gone in that lamp exactly how you want it setting. And I cannot tell you, if you're not using a fine liner with your biab, you need to get one. Like, I cannot tell you the importance of it. So yeah, I've done plenty of application videos and infill videos on my channel, which you will see me using my fine liner in those videos. There is some not too far down from this video. Go on in there and have a look and you'll see exactly how I apply my biab. But yeah, it's every time with a fine liner to get into those edges, get into those side walls. Make sure your self-leveling in structure is perfect. Make sure your apex is in the right place. It works wonders and you need to get one. This leads me on to my third point. Since I've got my new lamp, it changed over to Glitterbels Builder Gel, I have started setting one finger at a time, even if that is just a flash cure. So basically what I do with my biab now is I will set the biab on one nail and I will get it exactly how I want it, and then I will pop it in the lamp whilst I do the other hand. So say for example, I'll set this one, do on one finger, pop that under, I'll do the next one, place that perfectly, and then I'll swap that over. As soon as I've finished laying this, I'll swap it over, because then what I'm going to do is when I get to the fifth finger is I'm going to set that for a full 99 seconds, and then you know that all the biab that you've applied is 100% cured. Because even if you are flash curing one finger at a time, as long as you're not putting any more products on the top, you're not going to be risking that any builder is going to be left uncured. The flash curing is purely so that you have placed the biab exactly how you want it, you're completely happy with the structure and the application, and then this will minimize the potential of having to refine afterwards. So yeah, I will always do that. That's how I do my sets now, because the Glitterbels Builder, when I first bought it and started applying it, I did notice that it was a little bit of a thinner consistency than the gel bottle. I did used to do 4 fingers and then the thumb separately, but I don't like to risk not knowing that, because obviously once you've done this one, by the time you've done 3 more fingers, this builder gel can move. It's not going to stay exactly where you've placed it. So that's why I've started setting one finger at a time, so that I know that it's going to be 100% how I left it, and obviously it's going to minimize the risk of having to refine and save you time in the long run. And like I say, I don't set every single nail for 99 seconds each time. I will just pop this hand in the lamp until I've finished the application on this finger, and then once that's done, I will swap them over. But then when it comes to this hand, you're going to move on to the next nail. You're not putting any more products onto this one, so you're not going to be risking any chance of any builder being uncured. You are going to be, if anything, they're getting more curing time, and when it gets to the last finger, you've done all the other 4, it's a full 99 seconds. So what I actually do is when I get to the thumb of the first hand, this is then going in for 99 seconds. So then it's not going to take me 99 seconds to do one hand. So then what I start doing is refining the free edge of these nails, and then I'll get that shape sorted so that I'm happy with it. No refining over the top, because they'll still need a little bit longer in the lamp. I'll refine the free edge, and then I will do this thumb, so then by the time this is set for 99 seconds, this hand will be ready to go in and we are not wasting any time. I really hope that makes sense. I'll probably try to explain it in plenty of other videos, and I hope you understand what I mean, but that is how I basically do my application. But yes, that was the third tip, is to do one finger at a time, because then you're going to be completely happy with how your application is, because as soon as you put the hand in the lamp, that's going to set as it is, and you are not going to have any kind of slippages into the cuticle as long as you've not got too much product on your brush. Out was another thing, if you just keep an eye on how much product that you're putting on the nail, because if you are going in too thick, there is more chance of having biab going into the cuticle. You just want to kind of keep an eye on that as well. Just as a little bit of a side note, obviously when it comes to, because I was talking a little bit before about uncured builder gel, you do want to be making sure that you have the matching lamp to the builder gel that you're using. So I previously had the gel bottle biab and I had the gel bottle lamp, and then now I've changed over to the Glitterbels builder gel. So I have changed over to the Glitterbels lamp, which is here. And yeah, you just want to be making sure that you're doing that. If you do change your builder gel at any point, you do want to be making sure that you're using the matching lamp, just because that these lamps have been made to set this specific product. So you don't want to be risking any uncured builder gel, because that can cause allergies, and we do not want allergies. We've had plenty of conversations about allergies and we just don't even want to go there. Which then also leads me on to my next point, which is research. You want to be researching what builder gel you think is best for you. Don't just kind of see another brand that somebody else is using and think, I'll just pick that, because that's just not going to work. A lot of people, a lot of nail techs use brands that I personally wouldn't use. You just want to be researching and making sure that what you're using is best for you, is best for your clients, is safe, has safe ingredients, and yeah, you just really need to be doing research into your builder gel. That's if you are a nail tech already and you already do builder gel nails, or if you're new to the industry and you're thinking of starting builder gel nails. Just be making sure that you are happy with the product that you're using. Look at the ingredients and a percentage of the like HEMA amounts and things like that. Just make sure that you're aware of what you're using on your clients and that it is safe, essentially, because there are a lot of products out there that are not very safe and are not for professional use. And yeah, you just need to make sure that you're looking into your builder gels and that you're happy with it. I know I've mentioned this in a previous video, but I am part of the nail tech awareness group on Facebook, and I will pop a little screenshot in the corner of this group on Facebook, so that if you are a nail tech and you want to head over there to have a look, then you can do. There's literally a search bar at the top of the page. When you click on it, you can type in any brand that you are looking to move to, and you will be able to see everything that's been posted about that brand, good or bad. But it'll give you plenty of information on it and kind of nail tech, you know, experience and knowledge and opinions from other nail techs, because that is super, super important. And my last thing that I wanted to just kind of mention is to not feel like you have to have every shade of biab that there is. So each brand will obviously have plenty of biab shades, and I just want to kind of go over the fact that you do not have to have every shade. Do not stress about it. Biab for me is a very natural base, and I just kind of stick to the basics. I just have naturals, pinks, nudes, all that kind of thing. I don't really go for the out there colours because they just don't really get picked that much. A lot of my clients just stick to the same kind of thing. If they want a gel colour over the top, then they will do. If they want a design over the top, if they want French, or some just leave it natural, and that absolutely works for me. It may not work for other people. Obviously, some nail techs may have clients that like a little bit of something different with their builder gel, but it doesn't necessarily work that way for me, and it might be different for you. But all I'm saying is, don't feel like you have to jump in at the deep end. And if you are rebranding, or if you're starting out as a beginner, don't feel like you have to buy every single shade, because it is literally not the case. You will end up having shades that just sit on your shelf and do not get used. Just stick with the naturals, the nudes, the pinks, and you will be absolutely fine. Don't feel like you have to have, you know, 10 different shades in your biab range, because it's just not the case. It's very expensive as it is, and we just want to make that as easy as possible for you. So yeah, I think I had about, when I used to have the gel bottle builder gel, I think I had about 5 different shades, but even then I had bottles on there that wouldn't get used. So now with the Glitterbels one, I have 2 shades currently. I probably will be adding into those. But yeah, just don't feel like you have to have every colour under the sun, because it's really not the case. Obviously with gel colours that's a bit different, but yeah, with Builder it is just a base colour and you can do whatever you want over the top. So don't feel like you have to jump in at the deep end and spend loads of money and it not get used. So they are all of my tips for today. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you have any questions, as per usual, just drop me a message on Instagram, or you can drop a message in the comments below. And yeah, I hope this helps you step up your game with it, and I hope you find, obviously if you're a beginner, I hope you find your feet okay. And like I say, I'm here if you need me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.